So as you were saying about the Christmas trees, and about 3 years ago, you said things changed for you. You were drinking beer a lot
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever, and then but we were talking about Christmas trees, and somehow we
Right.
got on to beer. Tell me what happened there. What's the difference?
I went into rehab for 100 days.
Why is that? If I don't mean to be too nosy about this.
No, I am
If you
not-
want to talk
no,
about it, but if you don't,
I'm
that's
fine with it. I was drinking too much beer, and I went into rehab for 100 days.
on your own volition? Did you?
They
just-
found me on the tree lawn,
So you had sort of like what, passed out? or
passed out. Yeah, on the tree
something?
lawn.
Do you think you were passed out from the beer or something more emotional? Were you?
I think there was more than the beer involved. It was more, I wasn't taking care of myself at all.
We'd love to know if you want to say, and if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But it would be nice to know about that experience because other people are going through similar things.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
And a guy
Yeah.
like you has a lot of good sense and things
Mm-hmm.
to talk about that might impact someone else.
Yeah,
If you want, but if you don't, that's
well,
fine.
I'm not ashamed of anything. I was drinking too much, and I passed out on the tree lawn. They took me to rehab. They called my son in Ohio. He came down.
When you say they, who are they? I'm just asking.
The people in charge,
Who are they? Do
the
you-
county, Sarasota County.
Oh, it was in Sarasota?
Yeah.
Like in Florida?
Yeah.
All right. And so the people in charge in Sarasota County, can you be a little more specific if you know? And if you don't, that's
I
fine.
think it was Sarasota Point. I ended up in Sarasota Point Rehab Center.
And the people that came to get you, were they like police officers? You don't know.
I have no
You don't
idea.
know. I get
have
it.
no
I get it. I
idea.
get it. But when you found yourself, you were at the
Rehab Center.
in Sarasota. Okay,
yeah.
what happened then? Thank you for sharing all this.
Oh, you're welcome. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. You know.
No, you've got a great story to tell that will help other people. I think. Right?
I got mixed with this person, and then I got mixed with that person, and they, I got mixed with about 3 different people, and then finally my son came and got me and took me away. And he fixed up the house, he sold the house, and I moved up to Ohio.
So your son from Ohio
Yes, yeah, sure.
came to help you.
Yeah.
He was, I guess, called by someone from Sarasota?
I'm sure he was called by someone, and he came down there to straighten up everything.
And it sounds like he straightened up everything.
He did. Yeah, he did.
So it sounds like you raised a good son.
Oh yeah, excellent. One of my best friends. Yeah, I have 4 best friends.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Not everybody can say that.
Oh yeah, I have 4 best friends, and he is a best friend of mine.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So after this experience, you say it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
After this experience, can you and your son talk about it, like
Oh yeah.
as if it's normal conversation, like, or is it?
Oh yeah.
So there's
I mean,
no bones about it.
my son, my house was full of cockroaches. Okay.
Oh no, in Florida,
And there were spiders as big as your hand there.
typical Florida.
Yeah, and the house was really bad. I let it go totally. I let the house
Why do
go.
you think you let the house go?
Because the woman I was living with passed away,
Oh,
and
sorry.
after that, I think I went downhill after that.
Do you think it was sadness and grief? What happened there? I mean, I understand people pass away, and there's a lot of,
I didn't care anymore. I was on a mission of suicide. I was going to try to drink myself to death.
Do you think the woman that, all right, let's just establish something. The woman that you say you were living with,
Yeah.
who passed away,
Yeah.
were you in love with her?
I was in love with her, but she was a great friend of mine.
So you had a multiplicity of wonderful like characteristics and relationship.
Yeah.
And how long were you together before she passed?
I'd say we were together at least 5 years.
So you got to know each other and you lived together.
Yeah.
And then she passed. Was she
Yeah.
passing suddenly or was it over time? Or so to
She had, I believe she had sugar diabetes, and she passed away from that. Yeah.
So that obviously impacted you to a degree that you
Yeah.
felt like you wanted to end your life.
Yeah.
And you wanted to end it through alcohol.
Yeah.
Did you really think that would actually work? I mean, looking back, if you
I did. I
you
tried
belie-
it. I tried
you
it.
believed it would actually take care of your situation.
I take everything to 110%. Okay.
You go overboard.
Oh yeah. Oh, I take
Are you
everything.
ex-military at all?
No.
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 Okay.
But I
Just
take
asking.
everything all the way.
How did you become that way?
It's just tenacity of me.
Do you
I'm
know where that
tenacious.
comes from? The tenacity is
I don't
a
know,
characteristic you
But
got from
maybe it's I mean, I worked 34 years in the same place. I was just tenacious about it. I mean, when I did something,
You
I did
stick with it
all the way.
the way. Yeah.
All the way. There was no halfway.
All right. So let me ask you this: when the
Yeah.
woman passed away, that you lived with, that you loved,
Mm-hmm.
and I assume loved you back,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you this question. It's just off the top of my head, basically, but was that sort of a turning point when you couldn't do it all the way anymore? Like you wanted to do it all the way and you couldn't because it was over?
No.
No. So
It's always all the way.
No, what I mean is, did that interrupt your all the way? Meaning, is that why you turned to giving up? In other words, what I'm trying to ask you is, you couldn't have the all the way that you wanted with the future that you maybe, saw or planned for with the person you were living with, the woman who died. Now, so that would have ended the all the way, and that relationship is what I'm saying, right?
I think we're talking about a couple different things.
Yeah, let's
here.
go into it. What is it?
I mean, my all the way was trying to end myself with alcohol.
Yeah, but why?
I had nothing to live for.
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Did the passing of the woman create the ending that caused the all the way to stop?
I think in a slow process, yes.
That's what I was asking. Okay, what else?
Uh,
If you wanna.
well,
expand.
I mean, what else? What are you asking?
You
What
said
else?
there were a few things that might have caused you to go that way.
I
Beside what happened with her, maybe.
I felt that I had nothing else to
to
live,
live
for.
for.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you kind of really threw your life into the relationship and the day-to-day life that you had. Is that right?
Yeah,
to say?
yeah. And there was just nothing else to live for. I'd had it. I'd had it. That was it.
Right. Was there anything else that made you feel that way about ending it all?
I don't think so.
Did you have this conversation with your son? Did you guys ever talk about?
No.
But he fixed it,
He came in and
took care of you,
yeah, he took care of the house. He got rid of the house. Yeah.
took care of the bugs and everything that went with it.
The bugs were bad.
But have you and your son ever talked about your, feelings about how you got to that place?
No, because my son has a business and he is too busy to talk. I maybe see him 20 seconds a day. That's it.
Right.
I don't, there's, like right now, I want to get out of where I'm living with him because it's too cold in the basement. It's like a meat locker.
Yeah.
And I am sick and tired of living in the meat locker.
Right.
And he's supposed to have a place for me that I have $100,000 invested in. And, but that's not happening. My son is just too busy with his business. You know, he's tenacious like me.
Right.
Everything's into his business. Everything's in business.
So for you, it sounds like life is a little bit on hold, meaning what's going to happen in the future with your living situation.
I have to change it. I have to change it.
Right. You're working on it, it sounds like.
I'm working. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it.
Super.
Yeah, I'm going to change it.
So earlier when I sat down with you, if it's okay to segue into something other than this
I don't
topic.
care what you do.
Yeah, thank you. We were talking about our mutual respect for Christ Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
and we had talked about a few scriptures, and we also talked about how about 3 years ago, you said,
Yeah.
you began to follow Christ.
I began to read the Bible.
You
every
began
day.
to read the Bible.
Yeah.
All right. Can I ask you, and it's all totally whatever you're comfortable with sharing,
Mm-hmm.
how you got to the place where you began to read the Bible every day, why you did, and then what that did in terms of,
Because, you know, I started reading the Bible, and I started in the Old Testament.
why did you start, is my question. What made you start reading the Bible?
Because,
And where did you get the Bible?
well, I have a Bible from my daughter-in-law, and my best friend gave me a Bible, and I read chapters out of both of them every day, verses, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, the more I read, the more I found out that everything is in the Bible.
All right, before we go further, I still want to know what drew you to the Bible when you started to read it. Of any book you could read, why did you choose that one?
Well, I mean, let's face it. We celebrate Christmas, which is Christ's birthday. We celebrate Easter when Christ was risen from the dead. I mean, it's all about Christ. So there has to be something there.
So is that why you decided to pick up a Bible? Because you thought, I'm just putting words in your mouth a little bit, but I want to understand. You thought that would be the source for knowledge and understanding? Or?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So you were trying to hook up or link up reasoning with experience? Like trying to find a reason for the things that life...
No, I am not. I'm not trying to find a reason.
Oh, then tell me. What
no,
is it?
no, I'm not. No.
Yeah, correct me. Help me.
Well, I'm not trying to find a reason for why I think this or that. I mean, the Bible is. You have to read the Bible, and read it and know that it is the truth. You have to really get into it and know that it's the truth.
But what I want to know is what made you want to do that, and why did you choose the Bible? Of all the things you could have chosen, what I'm trying to say is, how did you get there? What put you in that role?
Well, I mean,
as a reader of the Bible?
in the Western society, the Bible is what is there for us. You know, we have churches that celebrate Christ. I mean, whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, whatever, they all celebrate. Well, Jewish don't celebrate Christ, but they all, celebrate Christ. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Easter. I mean, we're all about Christ. Now, if we were in India, we'd probably be studying Buddhism. And I'm also reading a book, The Art of Happiness, which is kind of like excerpts from the Dalai Lama. Okay? His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And, I mean, if I was in India, I'd be studying Buddhism. I wouldn't be reading the Bible.
So you find like maybe the geography of where you live has something to do with it?
I think so. I think
it could.
God is like, God has no denomination. Okay?
Yeah.
God is not black, white. God is a spirit. He's not a man. He's not a denomination.
Did you know that before you read the Bible, or did you learn it from reading
No, I
it?
found out God's a spirit in the Bible.
Do you have a favorite passage? Or, any part that you like the best?
I read the Lord's Prayer every day. I start out reading the Lord. I think that's Acts 11, I think that is. I read the Lord's Prayer every day. Uh, I don't have any. I can't recall it right now. I have some favorite passages, but I can't spill it out right now. I don't remember it right now.
No, it's fine. So, but obviously, reading the Bible is a very important part of your
Oh yeah,
day
every
to
morning,
day.
every morning.
But it began 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And you went to the Bible because I guess you were seeking something that you.
I was seeking an answer. I was seeking some wisdom to my life, to life, to life. Period. To life. Period.
In general.
Let's not go through life and not read the Bible. Let's not go through life and not learn something about being great, about being a good human being.
So that was going to be part of my question next was, how has it changed you?
Oh, I'm
And you can definitely tell that you have a different outlook now.
Oh, I practice being a good human being. I
Right.
practice it every day.
Can you give me a definition of what a good human being is in your head?
One that is competent is is a desire, and what's the opposite of desire?
I think we talked about it earlier.
I always forget that.
Contentment?
Contentment, yes.
Yeah.
I am very content. I don't have a lot of money. I'm very content.
Right, but before you were reading the Bible, were
Yeah.
you content then?
No.
But the Bible helped you become content?
Yes.
Was it the words? What was it in the book that you read that made you feel more
Well,
content?
as you read the Bible,
Yeah, tell me.
it talks about the same thing that all religions talk about. You only need food, shelter, and clothing. That's all you need. Everything else is excess. I am not into materialistic stuff anymore. When I was in Florida, I had a lot of materialistic stuff. I lost it all, and I'm not into materialistic stuff at all anymore. Not into materialistic stuff falls away, it decays.
So, are you saying that you feel, and now I'm actually inserting words that you may or may not agree with, so I'm asking for
Alright.
permission
Yeah.
to say this, but are you feeling more free now that you are not encumbered with materialistic things?
Feeling content is feeling free.
So that's what I was asking.
Yeah. Yes, I feel free.
So there's a freedom
Yeah.
and a contentment
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
letting go
Yeah.
of certain elements.
Of not being attached to materialistic things.
Attached, I think, is a good word. Like attached.
Mhm.
I don't know if everybody would understand what being attached. How would you say? What would you say?
I would say it's like seeing a car that you would love to have. I say it's going to the grocery store and you go there and you put this in your basket and that in your basket and this in your basket and that in your basket, but you only need two things.
So the attachments are extraneous, maybe, or superfluous, or what do you think?
I think
What are
the
the
attachments are to things you think that are going to make you happy,
Ah.
and they are not going to make
I
you
like the
happy.
way you put it. I like attachments being represented as things that you think
are going to make you happy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Did you get that out of the book, or is that you?
I think I got that out of The Art of Happiness.
Okay, well,
But
that's
the
fair.
Bible says the same thing.
Tell me what you think about what passage. Do you have anything in mind when it says that?
Not from the Bible, but the Bible also preaches.
But it talks about it.
Oh, the Bible
For sure.
also says all you need are food, clothing, and shelter.
Well, I'll tell you, the Bible says, and I'm just paraphrasing, but don't worry about the things for tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
and
I don't worry about tomorrow.
and if God can, clothe the fields with the lilies of the valley in their glory, you don't need to be worried about your clothes, and don't worry about what you're going to eat and drink tomorrow, and don't even be anxious about it. because God's got
The
your back.
Lord will provide.
And I'm totally paraphrasing, but that's the gist of the gospel, is that worrying about these unseen things is what the world's all about. And we get sucked up into that paradigm, and that steals our happiness, which I think also can be called joy, because happiness and joy are sort of synonymous, but they're really not the same thing. However, people understand them to be similar. And so for just the, general definition, I think it's okay to say,
Are you a happy person?
no,
Wow.
no, I'm not happy and I'm not joyful. However, I am content.
Good.
And I think that I have peace, although I also have desires, and God says He would fulfill the desires of my heart. And He said He would give me the desires of my heart. That means to me that, thank you for asking, by the way, that the desires of my heart are God-given.
Okay.
If they're, there has to be an if there, because if I have desires of my heart that aren't from Him, there's something